Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about my routine. It's something a number of people have asked about on an Ask Me Anything session. People have posted a number of times about what's your routine, and I've kind of resisted because I don't think it really applies to anyone else. But people keep asking, so I'm going to kind of outline how I organize my day. The key point though is the exact segments of my day I don't think are important. I think what is important though is we think about there are different elements to our day. So if I think about all the different things we have, well, we obviously have family. So we have time we spend with our family. Then of course we have work. We need to work, we need to earn money, we need to provide. Then we think about, well, there's the bucket that could just be health. Now, health could be mental, where, hey, maybe I meditate, maybe I do something that's relaxing to me, maybe it's exercise, maybe it's a walk, maybe it's yoga, whatever that might be, but there's some element of health. And then I think about, well, we maybe have our hobbies. Now, I say hobby, it could be a hobby, it could be a project, something we are passionate about, something that maybe gets us towards our goals. And then, of course, we have sleep, very important as well. So we have these buckets of things. They're not going to be equal amounts of time. A lot of us spend a lot of time working, but a key point is when I think about my routine, I want to make sure I have buckets for all of those things. It's super important we have that to keep some balance to our lives, to keep that work, personal life, health balance in check. So that's the important thing, have those buckets. And I say routine, I stick to it very strictly. I have these buckets of time, and that helps with discipline, which is all about getting things done. So the key point is buckets of time. So what is my routine? So I kind of have a weekday routine. So if I think about kind of weekdays, I follow the same routine every single day. So I think about, well, it's 3 a.m. I get up. So my alarm goes off, it's my phone. I don't have snooze, I hit the button, I get out of bed. But then I don't look at the phone. I don't look at my iPad. I don't look at anything electronic when I wake up. Generally, most things, most inputs to our lives from the outside world, there's some negativity to it or there's some distraction. I don't want that when I start my day. So I wake up, I get up, I have a glass of chocolate milk, I have half a bagel, I take the dogs out quick, but I'm not looking at any electronic devices. So then for me, at 3:30 is training. So that's going to my garage, and that really breaks down to kind of 90 minutes cardio and then 90 minutes weights. Now, while I'm doing cardio, I will often look at YouTube videos. It could be something technical I'm trying to learn or get information about. Sometimes it's just motivational things. So I will look and I will learn during that time. So although that's cardio, 90 minutes, I might also use that time to actually advance my own learning. I'll create like a watch later list of things that I'm interested in. So yes, I'm doing my health, but it's also some things I care about, I want to learn. So that's 3 hours. So at that point it's kind of 6:30. It's kind of shower, I have a protein shake, and then essentially at 7 o'clock, I would say for an hour, I work on kind of YouTube, like I'm recording now. It's about 7:30 in the morning. YouTube projects, so things I'm trying to research. I might record a video, but that's kind of my time for an hour. Now, I do also quickly look at my email. If there's something urgent that I need to deal with, I will interrupt that time so I can respond to those things. But essentially, I do that for an hour. And then at 8 o'clock is when I start work. So then at 8 o'clock, I really shouldn't have used work time for shower or get up. But this is now, actually it should be blue, shouldn't it? There we go, I'm doing the wrong color. There we go. So we'll do blue. I start working. Now, the first thing I'll actually do when I work is, again, I'll kind of look at the emails, I'll triage my inbox. I only ever have at most 10 items in my work inbox and my personal inbox, so I keep that very, very tidy. So I keep my inbox very clean. The only things in my inbox are things I need to keep awareness of, things that I'm tracking. I also use kind of Microsoft To Do. So I will actually go through and I will add things to my day and reorder them based on the things I actually want to get done in that day. So I'll make sure my to-do list represents things that I actually want to get accomplished and in that order. I'll also go through my calendar. And the reason I do that is often we have things in our calendar that actually we don't need to attend, shouldn't be there. And I'll go and delete the things. So the only things I'll have in my calendar are actually things I intend to go to, meetings I actually have. So from there I can really see what's real for the day. And then about 8:15 I eat a big bowl of cereal. At 11 o'clock I have lunch. Now honestly I'm saying kind of a lunchtime. I don't take a lunch hour or anything like that. Normally I'm actually eating during a meeting. My day is pretty solid from 8 to 5. There's just meetings going on. I'll also kind of have a protein shake at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But at some point between 12 and 3, I will find 30 to 45 minutes to do some kind of either walk or swim. I think it's important not to just sit non-stop from 8 to 5. So at some point I'll try and find, if I can't find a gap, then I'll walk and I'll maybe be on a meeting while I'm on the little treadmill walking. If I actually have a gap in my calendar, I'll go out, if I can, the weather's okay, and I'll have a quick swim. It's not really about the exercise, it's about getting out the house, it's about standing. And during the whole work day, I'll try and get up, I'll try and move around, maybe take the dogs out in the garden for 5 minutes, as often as I can, just to, again, get some blood moving. So then, basically, I work until 5 o'clock. And 5 o'clock is dinner time. So it's dinner time and some family time. So I won't be looking at my phone or iPad. Maybe after dinner, we'll go and play some Nintendo Wii, Mario Kart with the kids, whatever that might be, for an hour. Then at 6 o'clock, I actually work again. So I will go back, look at my inbox, again, triage the inbox, get things down, make to-do items if I need them, organize things. Maybe I work on some of my own projects. So it could be if I don't have any work, I'll work on my own kind of project things. So I'll do some more work then. And then once again at 7 o'clock, that's family time again. So I break it up into these little segments. And I go to bed at 8 o'clock. So I get 7 hours sleep. And that works very well for me. Now just before bed, I'll get my sports gear that I'm going to wear the next morning ready. I'll put that out so I don't have to try and find that in the morning. I get everything ready. But honestly, that's my day. And I'm very, very strict with that. When it's family time, it's family time. I try not to look at devices. I try not to work. Now, the reality of the world, we can't be perfect. If there's some urgent thing, we need to make a living, it may interrupt. I'll try and get that time back in some way. But I really try and stick to that. So that's my working day. You see, there's buckets of time for sort of health, my projects, learning. Obviously, really it's work from 8 to 5. But I will break and have a little bit of exercise at some point in there. Again, that's not 12 to 3 I'm exercising. I'll find some gap between that time to do something for me. And that's how I break it up. So that's kind of the weekday. Saturday is very simple, actually. So Saturday is basically family day. So Saturday, I still get up at 3 a.m. So I get up, exactly the same alarm. And essentially what I do now is at 3:30 I train, but 3:30 is my long training day. So I might do like a 6-hour bike ride and then maybe some weight training, something else. But I try and finish basically by 11 o'clock. And so by, I've done the wrong thing for family. Family should be in the black color. So by 11 o'clock, it's just family time for the rest of the day. I don't work. I don't do anything else. Sunday, for me, is my project day. Now, I don't set an alarm, but I normally wake up by 4 a.m. Between 3 and 4:30, I will just wake up. I'll get whatever sleep I want because I still go to bed at 8 p.m. on a Saturday. So I'll get up, let's say 4 a.m. and I essentially now work on my projects from 4:30 till 11 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock, I'll stop for lunch. But at that 4:30, I'm just working on my YouTube content, my prep, my learning. And I'm back at that at 12 o'clock, back on my kind of project things. Maybe there's some work stuff I need to do, but I'll go through to about 3 o'clock, which is then family time again. And once again, 8 o'clock is bed. So that's my thrilling kind of schedule. Again, I should have kind of called out those colors. I messed up the colors. That should obviously be family here in that color. If I was doing the right things. This again is kind of family in here. But again, it's buckets of time. So the weekend, I really try not to do a lot of my day job stuff. Now, obviously, my day job involves knowing Azure and technology. So all of these learnings helps me with my day job. Often I'll create content about something I'm doing in my day job, so it helps me. But Saturday's really training family day. Sunday is my projects and family time. Sometimes over lunch, we'll actually have lunch and then we'll go for like a family walk outside somewhere, maybe drive somewhere to go a little hike or something. But that's the routine, and I do stick to it very rigidly. I don't waver from it. It's always 5 o'clock dinner. It's always 11 o'clock lunch. I always break the things up in those kind of orders. Saturday is always training and family day. Sunday is always, hey, I work on content. The key message of this is be respectful with your time, though. There's always things that want to take your time. We all have the same 24 hours. You have to make certain decisions. I'll try and optimize. Like if people send me a meeting invite that I don't think needs to be a meeting, I'll reject it and say, look, this could just be a quick email exchange. It doesn't need to be a meeting. If I have gaps in my calendar, I'll go and look at my to-do list and say, okay, what can I be doing at this point? But you may have to make tough decisions. Like people now contact me one-to-one constantly, and I cannot support that. People will tag me on Twitter and ping me on LinkedIn or email me wanting direct help. There's so many hours in the day. There are the buckets. And to spend time on that would take away from basically family or my YouTube content. And I'm not prepared to do that. I don't think that's a good trade. So I just cannot support that. So when people do ping me directly, I don't respond now. I can't. And people might say, oh, you should respond and say, sorry, I've tried that, it doesn't work. So now I don't acknowledge those things. So you have to push back and make maybe sometimes some tough decisions on where you prioritize, because my family is more important than honestly random people on the internet. My projects and trying to produce content is more important than a one-to-one conversation. And there are only so many hours in the day. So think about what is most important and prioritize those things, but make sure you have buckets of time for these things. I would love to have more family time, honestly. But I think we have a good balance. The key thing is making it count. So when it's family time, don't just be sitting in front of the TV. What are you really doing? Try and actually be doing something and make those times count. So that's it. That's my routine. People have asked. I don't think it's super interesting. I'm not saying anyone else should do this. People would look at this and think it's obsessive, I am sure. But it works for me. It helps me achieve my goals. So that was it. Find yours. Find what works for you that helps you get a good balance. And stick to it. Take care.